Hare Krishna. So once again, I thank you for joining this 18 days Gita class. So we are excited to all of you have this enlightening journey. So this Bhagavad Gita is not just a book; it's a journey through a timeless wisdom. So today we are discussing 10th chapter, sorry, 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is the most confidential knowledge. So before we go ahead today and start this class, we thank Srila Prabhupada, who's the founder, Acharya, one man from this great land of India. At the age of 70, he traveled across the globe in just a short span of 11 years. 14 times he traveled, and he made what is impossible into possible. So he is the author of this book, Bhagavad Gita, as it is. So we thank Srila Prabhupada for giving this opportunity. And today we are heading with chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge. So before we embark in this chapter, we'll just do a quick review of the previous chapters what we have discussed, starting from chapter 1 to chapter 8. So chapter 1, we discussed how how Arjuna was confused. He was saying, I don't want to fight, right? And then in chapter 2, we see how Arjuna was, surrendered to Krishna, and Krishna started speaking about the importance of soul. We're not this body, we are soul. Yeah. Then we could see in chapter 3, why the soul suffers. We spoke about the karma, right? Doing his prescribed duty. Then we spoke about chapter 4, that by doing good actions, like we spoke about karma, vikarma, and akarma, right? If somebody does pious activities, they go to Swarga Loka, So we spoke about somebody who keeps Krishna in the center, and does activities. For example, Annadanam. Somebody is doing Annadanam. They first offer the food to the Lord and then distribute, So that is called akarma, So that's how we can go back to God. So we spoke about this in chapter 4. And in chapter 5, we spoke about how to do service, without being attached. We gave an example of that lotus leaf not attached with water. So that's why, Krishna tells that we must train our mind in such a way that the mind can be a best friend, not the enemy, right? Then in chapter 6, we also discussed about Dhyana Yoga, like how train your mind in such a way that when doing meditation, you focus on Krishna, you focus on God. And in chapter 6, Lord is telling that you have to control your mind in such a way that you focus on the Lord, right? So among all yogis, Bhakti Yogi, who meditates on Krishna with love and devotion, he is the greatest yogi. We discussed that. Now in chapter 7, Lord Krishna is trying to explain us the deeper knowledge about himself, that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? And finally, we have chapter 8, that is what yesterday we have discussed. So yesterday we discussed about life is a preparation and death is a final test. So this shows that, train your mind right now to chanting the Lord's holy name, because only by practicing bhakti now, we could be able to remember at the time of death, because it becomes a very easy process, or else it's a big challenge. That's why we see that the wonderful sloka from Bhagavad Gita, it says, Anta kalecha mam eva smaranukva kalevaram. So one who remembers me, at the time of death, he comes to me, and there is no doubt about this. And finally, in chapter 8, Krishna concludes that this bhakti is an emergency. So today we are starting with chapter 9, that is titled as Most Confidential Knowledge. Actually, this chapter is very special because, this chapter is divided into 4 parts. Okay, that's the King of Knowledge, Unimaginable God, those who don't know, those who know Sri Krishna, and devotees never perish. So it's a very vast chapter. It has 34 verses. We'll go step by step, and we'll see what is a take-home message for us by end of the day. All right. Now let's begin with the first chapter. Sorry, 9th chapter, first verse. Now this is called the King of Knowledge, right? So let's begin with the first verse of the 9th chapter. It says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha idem toti guyatanam pravyakya anushavaye jnanam vijnana sahitam yajnatva mokshe sabha. Actually, I'll not take the translation. I'll directly go with the meaning of this so that we can save time. Okay. So in the first verse, Krishna is telling Arjuna, because you're not envious of me, I am giving you the most secret and the pure knowledge. So by knowing this, you can come to me freely and all your sufferings will be going away. So what do we understand from this verse? That we should not become envious. So Krishna is not giving this knowledge to everyone. He's only giving to those who are not envious or jealous of God. Someone like Arjuna, someone like you and me, we're trying to hear this class without any ulterior motive. We wanted to know what is the truth. So that's what, if you're not envious, it's very easy. So now, if I have a question for you, like why did Krishna chose particularly Arjuna to share this secret knowledge? If I have this question for you, what should be your answer? Okay, let me poll this for you. Maybe it will be easy for you to answer them. Okay. Yeah. So this is a question. Why did Krishna chose to give Arjuna only the secret knowledge? What should be your answer? Exactly right. It is because Arjuna was not envious of him. Perfect. That's right. Okay. I'll share the result. Let's stop sharing. Okay. There we go. Now, it's very important to know that, this chapter has a very wonderful verses, especially this one. Raja Vidya Raja Guyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyaksha Vagamam Dhamyam Sukam Katum Avyayam. So, why this knowledge is so special? Actually, Krishna calls this as a king of knowledge, the secret of all secrets, because it's pure and it gives a direct experience and also it brings happiness when practiced. That's why it says Susukam Kartam Avyam. It's very joyful and everlasting. But what is that secret knowledge? See, in the last chapter, chapter 8, we discussed about the four main miseries. What is that? Birth, death, old age, disease. No? So the material world is full of suffering. Krishna also puts a stamp. What is that? Dukhalayam Ashashvatam, a place of sorrow and temporary life. But now in chapter 9, the confidential knowledge, Krishna is telling, he's giving a solution for that. How to become free from those miseries. And that is the confidential knowledge. So stay connected. We'll try to go more deep into this chapter and find what is the answer for us. So if you're confident without envy, then you can get the secret higher knowledge. Exactly right. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, because you're not envious of me, I'm sharing the secret. Now, we may think, how can someone be envious of God? Actually, that was one of the main reasons why today we are all here in the material world. Because we were envious of Krishna. We thought, why should he be God? Why not me? The pride, the jealousy actually pushed us, far away from the spiritual world to the material world. That's why Krishna says, only non-envious person can understand me and accept this knowledge. This is very important. So in this chapter, the first lesson that we learn here is that we must approach Krishna with love, faith, and without envy. Then he will reveal this most precious, spiritual knowledge, which gives us the freedom and happiness. So let's start the session. Now, look at this slide. It says Krishna is unimaginable God. Wow. So this talks about Krishna's unimaginable power. Actually, we all know that, here Krishna is explaining that I am everywhere, yet I am not in everything. Everything rests in me, but I am not limited by it. What does it mean? It means that Krishna is present in all things, but he's beyond everything. That's why he's unimaginable and infinite. Even powerful than Brahma, who's a creator, Shiva, who's a destroyer, even they couldn't understand Krishna's real power. Now, I'll give you an example. This is a very wonderful pastime that comes in Krishna book. Okay, so this is called Brahma Vimoha Leela. Actually, one day, Krishna and his friends, when we say friends, it's like Gopas. No, Krishna and his friends, they were eating together in the forest of Vrindavan. How many of you have been to Vrindavan? Not everyone, right? Okay. So we'll make an attempt in the future. Okay. So they were all joyfully taking prasadam in Vrindavan, laughing and playing, and even they had some lot of calves grazing here and there. Suddenly what happened? Some of the calves were missing, and now Krishna got up. He said, let me find them. But while he was away, even the friends, the Gopas also, they got disappeared. Now what happened? Actually, this is not normal, huh? Because Lord Brahma had done this. Brahma thought, how can this little boy, can be God? Let me test him. So what happened? Brahma used his power and tried to hide all the calves and boys in his Brahma Loka, in his own world. Now we know what happened after that. Krishna, he expanded himself, Krishna knew everything. So what did he do? Actually, Krishna used his supreme power. He expanded himself. He became the every missing calf and every missing boy. Exactly the same clothes, behavior, speech, looks, everything, Even their sticks, even the lunchbox, even the flutes, all were like Krishna's own form. And this is why we say Krishna is a unimaginable God. That unimaginable power he had. So we could see that now Krishna is trying to fulfill the desire of all devotees. How? We can see, this is just not a Leela. It shows that Krishna used to fulfill their devotees' desire, their secret desire. How is that? See, all the mothers of Vrindavan, that's gopis, they used to see only Yashoda used to bathe Krishna every day. They also had that love. When will the day come when I also bathe Krishna? They wanted Krishna to be very close. So now Krishna became their son because now Krishna expanded himself, right? All the calves and boys. So he became Krishna. So now every mother got to love their Krishna, got to love their son as Krishna personally as their own son. Even the cows also wanted to feed Krishna with their milk. So Krishna became the cows, and the cows feed them with great love. So everyone got more love ever before, but they don't know that he was Krishna himself. Now you see, Brahma returns after 1 month, after one moment, not 1 month, after one moment. Actually, one moment of Brahma is like 1 year in this planet, in this earth, because you should know the time difference actually, because one day of Brahma is like 1,000 yuga cycles. It's a massive amount of time, So one moment of Brahma is like 1 year on the earth. So when Brahma returned to one moment, he was shocked. He saw all the calf and all the boys are still playing. But actually he actually hidden them everywhere in his Brahmaloka. But he looked again. He saw all the boys, all the calves. They're actually, there and they're playing with Krishna, and they look like a Lord Vishnu now. Why? Because Brahma is shocked. Brahma suddenly realized, oh my God, what did I do? They are all, because he saw all the expansion, now they become Vishnu forms, thousands of Vishnu forms, with having that Shankar, Chakra, Gada, Padma, no? Shadbhuja forms. Now he realized, I made a big blunder. I tried to test the Supreme Lord, it's my big mistake. Now he tried to fall to Krishna's feet and beg for forgiveness. Now here one thing is happening. What is that? Brahma's ego is crashed. It's broken. Then Brahma, he thought I was a creator, but no, now he understood. No, I'm not the creator. It is Krishna who is the creator, maintainer, and destroyer. Then Krishna asked, "Who are you?" Brahma replied, "I'm Lord Brahma." Krishna smiled and asked, "Which Brahma you are?" Then Brahma was confused. He thought I am only one Brahma. Then Krishna showed amazing thing. With his vision, he showed so many Brahmas coming. Like somebody had 4 heads, somebody had 10 heads, somebody had 100 heads, somebody had 1,000 heads, 10,000 heads, even more. So each Brahma, they came, they paid the respect to Krishna, saying, "Oh Lord, you are the master of the whole universe." Now, this Brahma, the actual Brahma, the first one, he understood, he thought I'm just a tiny puny creature, when it comes to Krishna, who is he? He's a Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka. He is a ruler of the infinite universe. So first, we must clearly understand that Lord Krishna is the original Supreme Lord, and his first expansion is Balaram. And from Balaram comes the Chatur Vyuha. Okay, that is Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Vasudeva, and Aniruddha. And from Sankarsana comes Vishnus, three Vishnus. So now you may think it's a little technical, but just hear, because some things may go out of your head. Just listen them, So the three Vishnus are Karunadaya Vishnu, Garbhodaya Vishnu and Kshirodaya Vishnu. Now this Karanodaya Vishnu, he creates multiple universes. I'll explain you in the next slide. Okay. And it comes to Garbhodaya Vishnu, he enters in each universes. When it comes to Kshirodaya Vishnu, he enters. He enters everybody is in living entity in their heart as a Paramatma. Makes sense? So each universe has its own Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And there are millions, crores of such universes. And that's why Krishna is called Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka, the Lord of countless universes. So this universe contains the 14th planetary system, which we discussed earlier. Remember I told you, we have Brahma Loka, Bhova Loka, so many lokas we have, but it is all a place of suffering. Right? Brahma Bhona Loka, Punaravartina Arjuna. I told that sloka, right? So now understanding the full opulence of Lord Sri Krishna, it's very difficult and it's beyond imagination. So before I go to the next slide, I have a question for you. Just I have a curiosity. What is your understanding? What did Krishna do when Brahma hid the calves and boys? Okay, I'll just put this question on the screen, because it will be easy for us to go ahead further. Okay, what did Krishna do when Brahma hid the calves and boys? Yeah, he expanded himself into all missing boys and calves. Yeah, that is the right answer. Yes, I'll stop sharing now. Perfect. Yes, that's correct. Now, if you want, you can make notes. Okay. So remember, I told you about three things. I told you about what are three things? I told you three Vishnus, right? One was if you can make a notes, it will be easy for you to understand, or else it'll bounce because something new you have not heard. Now, one was Karanodaya Vishnu, Garbhodaya Vishnu, and Kshirodaya Vishnu. Now, in this slide, we're talking about Karanodaya Vishnu. Why? Because he is a Karana. He is the main cause of all causes of all universes. Now, if you look at this screen, you could see that Maya Dakshina Prakriti Suyate Characharan Hetunana Kaunteya Jagat Viparodita. This material nature, which is one of my energy, is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. What does it mean? See, in this picture, you see Lord is sleeping. And from the Lord, there are multiple universes have been created. All right? So what I mean to say here, that from the breathing of Vishnu, countless Brahmandas are coming. You see, a lot of bubbles, you see that bubbles, and these bubbles are coming from the breath of the Vishnu, Karanodaya Vishnu. Now, you see, in this image, if you see, it very clearly sees that there is no nabi here, there is no navel, in Lord's stomach, But if you see, there are a lot of Brahmandas, bubbles, So inside each bubble, there is something called Garbhodaya Vishnu, where each each Vishnu has the navel, in his stomach, it's coming up navel, and there's a Brahma. Understood? Makes sense? So my question for you is that from the breath of Vishnu, so many multiple countless universes coming. In that universe, in that bubble, sir, you will find Krishna laying, and there comes the navel, the Brahma. So what emerges from the breathing of Karanodaya Vishnu? That's my question for you. So I'll give you a couple of answers, a couple of options. You can tell me your understanding, because if you can crack this, it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, I know it's technical, but it's important to know. What emerges from the breathing of Karanodaya Vishnu? Planets, okay, universal like bubbles. Yes, that is the right answer. Okay, I'll share the result. Yes, that's the right answer. Okay, now I'll make it more easier for you to understand. Okay, what is that? Now, if you look at the screen, there are three things. One is called Karanodaya Vishnu, Garbhodaya Vishnu, and Kshirodaya Vishnu. Okay. Now, Lord Krishna is the original source. He is the first expansion of Balram, and Balram comes from three Vishnus, right? So, what are three Vishnus? Of course, from Sankarsana come three Vishnus, but after Balram, Vishnus. Okay. So, one is Karanodaya Vishnu. See, Karanodaya Vishnu, he creates countless universes. You see a lot of bubbles, you see there, countless universes from his breathing. In his form, there is no, see here, there is no Brahma or lotus from his navel because he's creating the universes themselves, so that we can see here. When it comes to Garbhodaka Vishnu, what's happening? He resides within each universe, and from his navel, a lotus is coming, and Brahma is born, right? And Brahma then creates 14 planetary system and all other living beings. That is what says protects, creates, protects, and then we have maintains. What is that? Kshirodayaka Vishnu. From Kshirodayaka Vishnu, Lord is also known as Paramatma because he resides in the heart of every living being and takes many avatars, many incarnations. So you can see here, you can see Matsya Avatar, Kalki Avatar, Buddha Avatar, Vamana Avatar, Narasimha Avatar, Matsya Avatar, Varaha Avatar. You see on the screen, all these avatars you can see here, right? So we could see that Kshirodayaka Vishnu is also known as Paramatma. So this process is a real secret of creation, and hence it is considered as a confidential spiritual knowledge. So this what I'm discussing you is a little technical, but if you can able to understand, it's very benefiting. Why it is important? Because see, Krishna is showing that he is not limited. Even though he looks like a simple covered boy in Vrindavan, he is not the one who expects. Because he creates the universe, he enters every universe, and he lives in everybody's heart. That's why he's called the unimaginable God, Achintya Shakti. So what I meant to tell you that Krishna is saying in this Bhagavad Gita, everything is under me, under my control. It really means that every Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma comes from him. That's why we say Akilanda Koti, Brahmanda Nayak. Krishna is the Lord of millions of universes. So now my question for all of you is, who is the original source of all Vishnu expansions? Okay, that's my question for you. I'll poll for you. Just give me one moment. Okay. Yes. So who is the original source of all Vishnu expansions? Yeah, it is Lord Krishna. Exactly right. I'll stop sharing. Okay. Okay, I'm doing a little fast because we may short run of time. That's why I'm doing it. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Good. Okay, now let's go to the next slide. Okay, here the understanding is that let's understand Lord Krishna's by which is beyond our thinking. Now, generally, many of them did ask this question: who is great? Is it Lord Shiva or Lord Vishnu? Is Krishna greater than Vishnu, or did Krishna come from Vishnu? So the common question people often they try to even fight, debate, in the online class. They want to know. But actually, in chapter 9 of Bhagavad Gita, discussing today, clearly it shows that Krishna is a supreme. But people still they confused. They want to know why do people get confused? Because see, Krishna is doing tapasya, meditation, and Vishnu is lying on the snake on the ocean. Karanadaya is sleeping. But Krishna is very coolly playing a flute with cows. So people think there are separate gods with different powers. But what I want to tell you, that's not what Gita says. Gita clearly explains that all these gods, Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma, all are working under Krishna's control. Then who is Krishna? Krishna is not a form of Vishnu. Vishnu is actually a form of Krishna. So Krishna is a original supreme person. That's why we say Swayam Bhagwan. From Krishna comes Balram, right? And from Balram comes the three Vishnus, right? Now, simple line to understand is Krishna is a source of Vishnu, and from Vishnu the universe is created. So that is a simple understanding. So what happens now? Once we explain this chapter properly, then all our confusion will come to end. People also stop asking, oh, Shiva is big or Vishnu, or Krishna came from Vishnu, because Krishna is above all, because that's the source of all. So in summary, what I want to say that Krishna is just not a god. He is a supreme god. Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma, all come from him. Once we understand this, we won't argue anymore about who is greater. We simply worship Krishna with love. But still, I can sense what is running in your mind. So people will ask this, is Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna the same? Actually, I'll give you a very wonderful example, a story. Before that, I want to tell you from Shastras, So actually, from Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is clearly mentioned, that Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Matta Sarva Pravartate. Krishna is saying, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. Now, if you want to know Lord's unique position, we should know that, Lord Shiva is not a Jiva, is not a Jivatma, nor he's a supreme. Then who is he? Actually, he plays a intermediate position. That's why if you read Brahma Samhita, where Brahmaji says he gives an example of a milk and yogurt. From milk comes yogurt, but from yogurt milk doesn't come. What I mean to say is just like from milk comes yogurt, but yogurt milk doesn't come. So Lord Shiva is a transformation of Krishna for a specific function. What is that? Destruction. Exactly correct. So that's what I'm trying to say, that Lord Shiva is a manifestation of Krishna, but not the same level as a Krishna. So I'll give another example. If you read Bhagavatam, I'll give the verse number. It's a 12th canto, 13th chapter, and 16th verse. Where Shiva himself is saying, he says, Vaishnavanam itha Shambhu. Among all the devotees of Lord Vishnu, Shiva is the greatest. That's why there's a very beautiful verse. It says, Nimna Ganam Yatha Ganga, Devanam Achyuta Yatha, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, Puranam Idam Datha. So just as Ganges is the greatest of all rivers, Lord Shambhu Shiva is of all greatest Vaishnavas, and the Srimad Bhagavatam is the greatest of all Puranas. That's why if you read Brahma Samhita, there's a very wonderful, beautiful verse. It says, Kshiram yatha dati vikhara vishasha yogat sanjayatane yatha tata pratyahatto yamsham bhutam apitata samupaiti karya govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Same thing is explaining. Milk is compared to Krishna, Govinda, and yogurt is compared to Shiva, Shambhu. So this is what I'm trying to explain. Now, I know, but yeah, one thing is that, Lord Shiva is known for the Shambhu Tattva. All right. Now, I'll give you one example, a story kind of thing to make you understand. If you clearly focus on this point, you'll have no doubt about Shiva and Vishnu. Okay, I know I'm giving a little more time for the Shiva and Vishnu because people should not have this confusion. Okay, let's say I'm an IAS officer. All right, and people keep visiting, to me because they have a lot of their works to get it done. All right. So I'll give an example. Maybe this will be helpful for you. People are coming. They're coming and they say, I want to pay some fee. I want to submit some documents. I have some work. So as the IS officer, what I do, I just give a signature. Okay, get it done. So like that, every day people are coming to meet me in the office. They have some work. They get it done. But there's one person. He's keep coming and I'm asking you, what do you want? He says, I don't want anything. I just came to see you. What? Okay, fine. Another day, he comes. He doesn't ask anything, but he only says, I just came. I want to meet you. That's why I came, So you met me now. What do you want? He just said, I just like you. So I just want to take your darshan. So every day one person is coming. He's not asking for what he's coming. He only says, I just love you. I feel nice to see you. So I thought confused. Why this guy is coming every day and meeting me? I'm not asking. So then I said, okay, so you're coming every day. You're telling me you like me. You better come to my house. I will say one day. I will say you better come to my house. So now what happens? This person eventually start visiting my house. When he start visiting my house, he'll start serving me. He'll give me some fruits. Know what is happening? He's trying to develop a deep, personal relationship with me. That was not just a formal. What I mean to say is, people, when outside people, when they come and ask, they give it. Like you see, Lord Shiva has one name called Ashutosh. Whatever you want, you get it. But when I say I want you only, then what does he do? He will refer to his boss. Now, what has happened? People are coming, they're asking, I want. I'm just sanctioning it. Somebody says, I want you only. Then what I say? Come to my house. When they come to my house, what I'll do? I will guide them to Vishnu. I will guide them to, so Shiva is now getting to Vishnu. So I'll give you an example. You might be knowing this one foreign body by name Richard. Okay. He was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. Okay. And once somebody told him in Kailash, you should go and take darshan in Amarnath, Amarkand. So Amarnath, yeah. So this person was very eager, but see, this person had no ulterior motive because he only likes Lord Shiva so much, So he was in the train, it was so heavy, so much of crowd rush, So it was suffocating for this person, Richard. So what happened? He just got down from the train just to take oxygen. Then what happens? The train started moving. He was trying to get into the train, but it was so heavy, so much rush, he couldn't enter. He just was thrown out from the train, And then finally he was so disappointed. Then he asked somebody, which station is this? They said, this is Mathura. Okay. And they said, today, what is the special day? Today is a Janmashtami. Oh, really? And then he just went to the nearby temple. And then that was ISKCON temple. Then what happened? In couple of days, he joined the temple and he became a devotee. And do you know who that person was? He was a Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He's one of the prominent sannyasi in ISKCON, Just imagine where he was, where he came. Only because he was a great devotee of Lord Shiva and he had no any ulterior motive. Asking Shiva, give me this. No, he was only loving Shiva. Because he was loving Shiva, Shiva directed him to Vishnu. That's how it happens, That's what it says, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. So this is what I was trying to tell you, Sincerely having that love to Lord Shiva, because who is Shiva? Is a Vaishnava, is greatest Vaishnava of Lord Vishnu. He will surely guide to, Vishnu only. Now look at this slide, those who don't know Sri Krishna. What does it mean? Actually, in ISKCON, we have a book. It's called Lilamrita, Prabhupada Lilamrita. It has 7 volumes, So I read all the books. So there, I come across one beautiful pastime. There was one German person, he came and met Srila Prabhupada, who's the founder Acharya. He said, Swamiji, I traveled all over India and I'm so happy that I met you now, So yes, how can I serve you? So this person was telling to Swamiji, I've been to many temples, Some temples I saw some Hindu god, they are like dancing. Some Hindu god is fighting. Some Hindu god, is like having many heads. Some Hindu god is killing some Rakshasas. So I see different gods doing different activities. But I saw one god, he's very relaxed, just sitting, and just playing flute, I was thinking maybe he only should be God. Because everybody are doing some work, but he's just sitting and he's just standing peacefully and, he's playing a flute. So he thought maybe he is only real God. Because I see, he is not doing any work, He's not doing any work. He's just standing and just giving a smile. So this person was telling this to Prabhupada, and then Prabhupada said, yeah, he is only God, because actually, God, he never work hard, he gets work done from different devatas. That's why you are right, that person is Lord Krishna. And Prabhupada told him that you made a very nice observation. So the deep meaning, what I mean to say that see, the other gods are servants of Krishna, helping in creations and maintenance. But Krishna doesn't have to do anything because the one who is only enjoying everything runs under his will. That's why we said yesterday, Lord has one name. It's called Lakshmi Pati, right? So wherever Lakshmi is there, Krishna is there. Wherever Krishna is there, Lakshmi is there, Narayana is there. But what we do, we either want Narayana or we either want Lakshmi. No. So if you want Narayana, Lakshmi will come. But if you go Lakshmi, that means she's Chanchala. That's why it's very important. Now my question for all of you, that why did this German man think only Krishna is the real God? Okay, if somebody asks you this question, what should be your answer? Okay, I'll just put this question for you on the screen. Yeah. Yes. Why did this German man think that Krishna is the real God? Because Krishna was playing flute and was simply enjoying. Yeah, exactly right. No? Yeah, I'll share the results. Yeah, stop the share. Okay, thank you. That was the right answer. Now, if you look at this screen, it says, Avijananti Mamuda Manusham Tanu Asritam Param Bhavam Ajanito Mama Bhuta Maheshwaram. So it says that Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, same thing. Foolish people deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature. as Supreme Lord of all that be. So we can see when there was Rajashrika Yagna was happening, Krishna was honored first, but there was one person, Shishupal. He wanted to insult Krishna. He said, "You are respecting this covered boy, because Shishupal couldn't understand Krishna's opulence." So he said, that's why it says he's a Muda. But devotees, they don't do like that. That's why, because he insulted, he was been, he got the moksha, liberation, but not the love of God. So here also you can see that knower of Sri Krishna actually says, Sadatam Kirtam Ento Ma Majantam Tin Bradavrataha Namasantascha Mam Bhaktiya Nitya Yukta Pashate, always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, going before me. This great souls purposely worship me with a devotion. So what does this mean? This means that somebody is always chanting, Lord's glories, making efforts, being trying to close to Krishna, having full faith. Such great souls, they worship me with full devotion. Right? So we can see Uddhava is almost look like Krishna only, So he's telling to Uddhava, once Krishna told to Uddhava that my devotees will never leave me. They are always with me, always chanting my name. I don't know what I can give them in return. So whatever I give, it's not enough. That's why he says, I give myself to them. Amazing, right? Krishna is giving himself to us, right? So that's why don't ever think, that you are trying to hold Krishna. Actually, Krishna is holding you, right? You may think, that I have locked Krishna. No, actually, Krishna has locked you. That is the real bhakti. When someone understands Krishna's greatness, then they will surely chant Krishna's name, because by chanting they feel so happy and blissful. Now, my question for you is, according to Krishna in this Bhagavad Gita, what does, what do his great devotee always do? If somebody is devotee, what they do when it comes to Krishna? I'll put this on the polling, because I'm sure all of us will become a great devotee of Krishna. So I just wanted to know, what is your opinion? According to Krishna in this Bhagavad Gita, what we're discussing 9.14, okay, yeah, chants his glories with full devotion. That is what I was looking for. Stop sharing. Thank you. Okay, now Krishna is boldly declaring, my devotees will never perish. So we'll understand this with a lot of examples and stories, okay? Now, see, in this sloka, this is a very wonderful sloka. I request everybody should memorize this sloka. It says, Ananya Sinta Yanto Mam Ejuna Paripashate, Tesham Nitabhikta Nam Yom Shima Vamyam. It says, for those who are always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. Now, what does it mean? It means that anybody who has faith, they are meditating on Lord Krishna. Krishna is promising that whatever you lack, I'll give you in abundance. Whatever you don't have, I'll give you in abundance. Whatever you have, I'll preserve for you. All right? That's what Krishna is saying here. So there's a very beautiful story. This story comes from Orissa, Jagannath Puri. There's one person by name Arjun Charya. No, Arjunacharya. All right? He was a great devotee. What does he do? Every day he recites Bhagavad Gita. One day it was raining heavily. He was just reciting Bhagavad Gita. And the wife told, hey, we have two kids. Go home, go out, work, get something, You always keep reciting, And top of that, he was telling this sloka. Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ejana Paripashate Tesham Nitya Vikta Nam Yogakshema Vahamyam. Lord will provide, if you lack something in abundance. So you don't have to worry about. So this lady became very upset. What are you saying, So you keep chanting every day, you're reading slokas, Bhagavad Gita, but nothing is coming to us, So she became so upset, that when this Arjunacharya, when he went to take bath, this lady became so angry. She took a blade, she took the Bhagavad Gita, she scratched that page, that line, Tesham Nitabhiktanam Yogakshema Vahamiyam, And then after some time, what happened? Suddenly, meanwhile, two boys knocked the door. Now the husband is gone out for taking bath. Generally, in those days, people don't take bath in the house. They have a kind of a pond or kind of a river, whatever. They go out. So that was a culture. So this person went out to take bath. Now these two boys came knocking the door, and they bought lot of groceries, milk, grain, fruits, And the wife was so happy. They have, who are you? And these two boys said, no, we are disciples of Arjunacharya. One was looking very white, fair. one was looking like a blackish, So she was very surprised. She said, sit here, I'll cook something for you. No, no, I cannot sit here because I have to go. And she saw that the black guy, his tongue had some problem. So what happened? You open a tongue. You open the tongue like this. There was some kind of a mark, a red mark. This blood was oozing. He said, somebody have done a cut on my tongue, so I cannot eat, because spicy item it will be very paining. So he said, oh, okay, okay, say I'll get something for you. By the time she said, this boys went. And then what happened, Arjunacharya, he came, Then she was very overwhelmed, surprised. What happened? The moment you went out, two boys came, and you see we have a lot of groceries here, I can cook whatever you want. And I never know that you had two disciples. I said, disciples? I have not a disciple. No, no, one was boy, two boys, one was blackish and one was whitish, They look so nice, boys, why you never told me, So what happened? They bought all these groceries. Did you make them to eat something? They gave you. No, 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 they were in hurry. And I observed one thing, that the black person, he was telling, I have to leave immediately. And I saw him, why I saying, I saw there was a blood oozing from his mouth, that there was a cut on his tongue. Then immediately this guy got a kind of flash, So he just went to his room, opened that verse, but then that verse, there was a scratch. Then who did this one? I said, I only did this, because I thought, Krishna will not personally come and give us all this. Then he said, you know what? These two boys, who they were? They are only Krishna and Balram. They are the one who came. Then she realized, oh, that was Lord himself came, That's why Lord always, make sure, whatever he says, That's why I said yesterday, he's called infallible, If the one name is called Achyuta, all right? Whatever he promises, he will do that. That's why my question for all of you is that who came to Arjunacharya's house, to prove Krishna's promise was true. So I'll just put this question on the poll, and maybe you can answer this to me. I'm going a little fast because of time constraint. Okay. Yeah, who came to Arjuna's house to prove Krishna's promise was true? Yeah, it was Krishna and Balram only, who disguised as a disciple. Exactly right. Okay, I'll stop sharing. Okay, went faster. Okay. Now, if you look at the sloka, we've been chanting this verse from couple of days. It says, Patram pushpam palam to yam yomi patya prayachite tadham bhakti apohartam asnam predatmana. That means, if somebody offers me with love and devotion a leaf, flower, food, water, I will happily accept it. So I've been telling, one of the best way to do devotional service, bhakti is, that whatever we eat, first offer to Krishna, because it becomes prasad. And if you have a tulsi plant, do arati of that, do parikrama of that 4 times. Right? And we can also chant the Lord's holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So here, Lord is telling, if you give something with love, I accept, but that should be with a devotion. Yes. So now I'll tell you one story. There was one man, he prayed to Lord Balaji. If I get my desire fulfilled, I will give you 1,000. And his wish got granted, So his prayer got fulfilled, but Balaji did not got anything. So Balaji came in that way. He said, you will give me something, you never gave me, so where is my offering? So the man said, I'm going through a lot of challenges. I don't have anything right now. Then Balaji, he came, he said, at least you can offer me fruit, no? He said, I don't have fruit also. Okay, I understand. At least leaf? Said, no, I don't have leaf. Okay, at least water? I said, I don't have water. Then Balaji asked her, see, you say you have nothing. You say you have nothing. Then where are your tears for me? Where are your tears for me? Even that water you can't give me. That means Lord is telling me, at least where is your bhav? Bhava means feeling, At least if you have feeling that you want to serve me, then the tears will come. At least give that to me, we're saying. So there's another person I want to tell you. See, there was a Brahmana, he was such a tapasvi and such a wonderful devotee. Poor Brahmana, from mind only is to worship the Lord. From mind only is to offer bhoga, is to make laddu, samosa, whatever. But one day what happened is to make hot payasam, kheer, So before offering, you just want to make sure that it's not so hot, So he just put his finger in that payasam. Immediately his finger got burned, then seeing that Krishna accepted his mental devotion as the real, and they accepted him in the spiritual world. That's why, you should be very careful, because we are doing devotion service, Krishna reciprocates. So from this story, what did Lord Balaji say? The man should do at least offer if he had nothing else. So I'll put this question for you, because it'll be nice that if you can give me the answer for this. Okay? Yeah. So I told about the Balaji pastime, right? So what did Balaji? Yeah, tears. Because when you have the feelings, the tears comes actually. At least offer that. Yeah, that's right answer. I think I see a lot of Balaji devotees are here in this class today. That's very nice actually. Even I'm a great devotee of Lord Balaji. I has to go to Tirupati every month. Can you believe? Every month the walking has to go. When I was in college days. Now this verse it says, Yat karoshi, yat asnasi, yat jihosh tadasi, yat tapasasi konteya, tat purusrumat arpana. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever tapasya austerities you perform, do the devotion of Kunti as an offering to me. So finally, whatever you do it for me. That's what Krishna says. But what happens in our case, I'm going to say, people often say, I never eat anything without offering, But what are we offering? Maybe one banana, maybe a sweet to Krishna. But then we are eating what? Idli, dosa, samosa, pongal, for ourselves. That's not correct. Whatever we eat, we should have to offer to Krishna. Not that one thing you offer to him, then you take another thing. No. Krishna clearly says, whatever you eat should offer to me. So now I request all of you, whatever you're eating, first offer to Krishna. That will be very nice. Okay. Now look at this. This sloka is a game changer. It says, Apichit Duracharo Vajate Mam Ananya Bhag Sadur Eva Mantavya Sambhag Episto Sistaha. Even one commits the most abominable action. If he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. So Krishna is saying Bhagavad Gita, even if somebody commits any sinful acts, if they engage in devotional service with a lot of determination, they should be considered a sadhu, a saintly person. Now, naturally, people ask, how can a wrongdoer, somebody who's doing wrong, they can become a saint? That's why I'll tell you one story. A thief who became a devotee. Once in a foreign country, this is in a foreign country. This happened in Illinois, Louisiana. Louisiana is a place in the US. Okay. So there was one in that country, foreign country in USA. There was a thief who was running from a police. He wanted to hide himself. Because he did a lot of murder, a lot of things. So he wanted to escape from. So what he did, he wanted to hide himself. He entered into one of the Hare Krishna temples. And the devotees there, what they're doing, Nagar Sankirtan. They're doing Kirtan. So this guy also just joined the Kirtan. And devotees generally, they don't ask a background. They just tell you, take prasadam, do japa, nicely do chanting, and that's what they welcome. So surprisingly, this thief, he was staying among this devotees in the temple only. Nobody knew actually. So he was also chanting every day. He was cleaning the temple. He was even serving the prasadam. He was fully involved, And 1 week after, till then nobody came to know that there's a thief in our temple. One day, Srila Prabhupada was traveling from Los Angeles to Louisiana, that is Illinois, Louisiana. So everybody was very happy. Oh, Prabhupada will come, he's going to visit our temple. So, each devotee, they introduced themselves, when this thief, when he got a turn, he was very honest. He said, actually, he said, I don't want to lie, but I want to tell you honestly. Actually, I am a thief. I came here to hide myself. Prabhupada very calmly said, okay, no problem. You go now and surrender to the police. Krishna will take care. That's what he said. Now, he was very respectful to Srila Prabhupada. He obeyed. He went to the court. He himself went and surrendered to the police. Now, he was in the court on the judge day. The judge was asking him, where were you these days? What were you doing? he was very humbly, folding hand like this. He said, actually, I was in a temple, and I used to wake up early morning, 5 o'clock, and I have to chant my 16 rounds. I used to do arti for the Lord. I used to clean the temple. I used to serve prasadam for the public, and I used to go to market, get vegetables, all. When he was saying like this, the judge was stunned, what? This is what you're doing there? Then, then the judge passed the order. What was that? I will not punish you. You just go back where you came from. You just go to temple that will purify you. So this shows when someone sincerely engages in devotional service, even if they are sinful, Krishna purifies them. All right, interesting story, right? Amazing, right? And he became a very wonderful devotee. His name is Mukunda. Mukunda Das, actually. Should not mention the name, but I just mentioned it. Okay. So now the question is, what was the judge's reaction after hearing about thieves' temple activities? So I'll just put this question on the screen so that it's going to be like kind of a easy recap. Okay, yeah. Yeah, what was the judge's reaction after hearing about thieves' simple reaction? He pardoned him and told him, "You leave at temple." Wow, so amazing, right? I'll stop sharing. Okay, that's right. Now, yeah, this is a very amazing sloka. It says, Shipram bhavati dharmatma sasvat chintam nigacchati kaunteya pratijhananti name bhakti pranishyati. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace, O son of Kunti. Declare it boldly that my devotees will never perish. So Krishna is saying that, such a person quickly becomes, righteous, attains his lasting peace, and my devotees will never perish. That's it, he will never perish. What does it mean? Actually, you see, Krishna is the Supreme Lord, is independent. And sometimes when Krishna says something, he doesn't even follow what he said. But when devotee says, he'll make sure, he'll fulfill their words. I'll give an example. I think this is a very classic example you all be knowing because it's on the screen also. Krishna breaks his own promise for Bhishmadev and Arjuna. See, during the Kurukshetra war, Krishna had taken a promise. Oh, what is that? I will not lift any weapon during the battle. But you see, on the 9th day of the war, the great warrior Bhishma was fighting so fiercely that even Arjuna, under Krishna's guidance, couldn't withstand his attack. So Arjuna thought a great archer was hesitant to fully fight against his grandson because Bhishma. And Bhishma was like fighting very intensely, that Arjuna was into a edge of falling down, and then Pandava's army was in great danger. Krishna, this what's happening? Bhishma is like leaving the arrows, and Arjuna is like going crazy. He doesn't know what to do actually, That time what happened, in that moment, we could see something amazing happen. What happened? Krishna, he jumped off from the chariot. He picked up the broken chariot wheel and, took that weapon and he just rushed towards Bhishma. You see, his eyes were like glowing with the fury, like very red hot, just wanted to bang on, what do you say, on Bhishma Dev. And this is what happened. And that time, when Vishwadev saw that Lord is coming, to throw that arrow, throw that, wheel on his face, on him, So, because actually, Bhishma also, who is the Bhishma? He is also a very great devotee. Seeing that Krishna is charging towards him, Bhishma immediately dropped his weapon, he folded his hands and welcome Krishna, please attack me. And he was giving a smile, saying that, this is what I wanted, Krishna. I want to die in your hands. But what happened? Krishna broke the vow. He said, you'll not take the weapon. No, he took the weapon. That was the time, he was supposed to just throw it. Suddenly, Arjuna just folded, Krishna's feet. Krishna, you said you will never fight. No, please, protect the dharma. Immediately, because, he took a vow. Because, Arjuna had taken a vow that he will protect dharma and fight righteously. That is when Krishna, had to fight and also break his own vow. So we can see to protect Arjuna, keep his faith intact, Krishna was willing to even break his own vow. That's why, Krishna values devotees' words more than his own words. All right. Actually, there was one nice story. I don't know whether you heard this or not. Once there was one family, they had no child actually, They've been worshipping Vishnu for a very long time. And suddenly they saw Narada Muni was traveling. They said, Narada Muni, you are a great saint, you're going to Vishnu Loka. Just ask Vishnu, when will we get child? So he said, okay, fine. So he asked Vishnu. Vishnu said, for the next 7 lifetimes, they will not get children. They will be childless, because, that's their destiny. So now Vishnu was a little fearful to tell this, because, you will not get child, not this lifetime, 7 lifetime, he was a little upset, So he thought maybe after 4 5 years I'll go and then maybe I'll try to pacify them. That's what Narada Muni thought. But one day, what happened after 4 5 years now, Narada Muni was traveling. For his great shock, he saw in that family 2 children were playing. And immediately, Narada Muni went to, Vaikunta, asked Vishnu. Vishnu, he asked him, you said that these children will not have birth, so this family will not be having children. But I saw 2 children, they are playing now. So Vishnu smiled and said, actually, yeah, I told this, but what to do? One of my devotee, he had come for their house for some kind of a Janmashtami or some festival, and he was begging for some kind of donation. So that time he said, somebody gives one roti, I'll give one child. Somebody gives 2 rotis, 2 chapatis, I'll give 2 child. And this family gave 2 chapatis. So I said, okay, because my devotee has said, if you give the 2 chapatis, we'll have 2 children. That's why to keep up my words, to keep up my devotees' words, I just gave them 2 children. So imagine, Krishna, though something is not in his control, still if somebody devotee has said, he will do it because that is the exchange. That's why if we become a devotee of Krishna, Krishna will take care of us. That's why it says now, Yogakshema Vahamyam. All right. Okay. I think I'm getting a little late. I'll make it a little faster now. So my question for you is, why does Krishna ask Arjuna to declare my devotees will never perish? If that is a question, if I ask you, what should be your answer? Okay. This is the last question, then we'll make it a little faster. Yeah. Why does Krishna ask Arjuna to declare, my devotees will never perish? Yeah, because devotees' words are always fulfilled by Krishna. Yeah, that is the right answer. B is the right answer. Okay. Let's share the results. Stop sharing. Okay, we have another 3 minutes to go, so I'll make it a little quick and faster. Okay, I'll not take your time. Okay, now this is a very amazing sloka. Man manavo mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskaro mam eva susavante mam eva sasi tattva atmanam parayana. Engage your mind always thinking of me, become my devotee, offer your obeisance, respects to me, worship me, being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. So the message what Krishna is giving here is that if somebody, Krishna may bend his own rules, but he will never ignore his devotees' words. That's what he's telling to Arjuna. You declare it boldly, Arjuna, my devotees will never perish. So because Krishna will protect the words with faith and devotion, no matter what his past may be. So even though we may be done a lot of past, lot of sinful activities, even now, if we take up devotion, seriously, Krishna will protect us. There's no doubt about it. That's why we're realizing that God bestows causeless mercy on devotees. One can reach God by practicing devotional service properly. So by understanding God's unconditional mercy, one can attain Him through sincere devotional service. So please take up this seriously by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. Thank you so much. So I'll do a quick review what we discussed today. We spoke about that God is beyond, within and beyond creation. Because God is Krishna is the unlimited goal of all spiritual paths, and one of the easiest way is to reach Him is just man mana mad bhakto. You become my devotee. You worship me, you offer me. Then it will be easy for you that you can get Krishna without faith. That's why even somebody is sinful also, if you take shelter of him, he will be quickly purified and will be uplifted. That's why Krishna says to Arjuna, declare it boldly, my devotees will never perish. So he spoke about the king of knowledge, he spoke about the unimaginable God, the Brahma Vimoha Leela. He spoke about people who know and who don't know. Especially Krishna protects his pure devotees. So the reflection of today's class is that, that God's love is unconditional. So if you want to just surrender to him sincerely, then Krishna will turn the miracles on you. So finally, tomorrow we are heading towards chapter 10. That is, feel the feel the power of absolute. So tomorrow's chapter is very, very special. Because it's like really a game changer. Because don't miss tomorrow's class. Discover Krishna's divine opulence. Chapter 10. Because it's like Krishna's glory is tomorrow. If you want to unlock Krishna's glory, then tomorrow the day. Just join us for chapter 10 and experience a supreme majestic splendor. Okay, so get ready for the grand reveal. Chapter 10 shows Krishna's cosmic power. Don't miss it tomorrow. Okay, so I'll not take much time. We'll have a quick question and session. If somebody has any questions, we will just go with that. Okay, I see a lot of hands rising now. Just give me one moment. Can someone off the fan? Yeah, it's happening. Okay, just one moment. Okay, I'll just unmute you. One moment. Yes. Yes, Srinidhi, you have been unmuted. Yeah, you can unmute yourself. Yes. Okay, I think she has some difficulty in unmuting this one. Okay. I'm giving you another opportunity, Srinidhi. You can just try to unmute yourself. Maybe there's a poor connection, I believe. All right, then. Thank you so much for all of you for joining today. We have discussed a very important topic. Tomorrow, we're waiting for the, very important 11th chapter. So stay connected. And thank you for joining once again. Hare Krishna.